So you're going to be in a comic book.
Yes.
Have you thought about that?
Yes. A lot. It's something that I never thought I'd see, and I know that when I finally actually have a copy in my hands, I'm probably just gonna sit there staring at it, and probably whoever's gonna be Romeo just gonna be like,
just put it in a glass case.
I'm in a comic book. I'm right there. It looks like me.
How are you feeling about all of this, Alicia? I imagine that your character may be in a comic eventually, if this is going to be a thing. I'm sure everybody will be.
I got to see the artwork of me as the comic book character, and that's an otherworldly experience. Like, that's like calling my brother and be like, dude, we're having the moment. Like, we've arrived. Like, something just happened. It's that whole thing. Like, I mean, like, my personal geek moment, like, one of those things that like saved my life as a kid and everything, like my very first Marvel card. I will never forget opening up my very first Marvel card. And there was, we rode our bikes down to the guy's corner store and everything. And I had my little pack and I open it up, and there is, of all people, on the very top of my deck, full mohawk Storm, like 80s punk rock Storm. Okay. And I was just like,
nice.
I think I was like 6 years old at the time. It was something that was just like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be all right. Okay, cool. Seriously, like, that whole thing really happened for me in that moment. And so, like, comics have always been such a, that world of that particular flavor of make-believe, and seeing that level of representation and heroism was always such a big deal. So, like, to be suddenly in there, it's completely otherworldly. Just to, it's an honor just to be nominated, It's really cool to be here. It really is.
Well, and if I could just add something too, I was, another thing that drew me in is, for one thing you said about like all the different characters, like, oh, there's so many different people in here. Mm-hmm. But also it's nice because it's like all the it's heroines because they're all heroines. Like, and I don't have anything wrong against superheroes. I mean, like, I grew up, I loved watching the Spider-Man movies, and I loved watching the Batman cartoon series. Like, I love all of the superheroes, but it's so nice to just know it's like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about because a lot of times, like, I'll look at casting notices and it's just, the nature of the business, but a lot of times, like, I'll like, oh, okay, this looks interesting. They only need men. So it's like, all right, well, I can skip that one. So then when I came across this, it's like, oh, I never have to worry about this with something like this, because, like, it's nice all girls, which is really nice. And it's nice to just, for once, it's just refreshing to see stories where it's like mostly centered around women and like them interacting with each other, or like in episode 14 where my character Arctica and the superheroine Fiona fight her Sintilla together, and they have like some interaction before we go into the fight with her and stuff.
And it takes two.
Yes,
like, it takes two.
Yeah, and because I mean, sometimes it's just it's hard to find stuff that's like all girls. For instance, like one of my favorite movies is The Descent. There's one male character in that movie, and it's such a great movie about all these women that are going, like, you hardly ever see any horror movies that have all women.
And if you do, they're always running for their lives their entire time.
Well, and they are in this movie,
but they fight back in The Descent.
Yes.
Like, there's war, there's battle down there in those caves and everything, and covered in gore and viscera, and screaming your whole way through it.
Yeah.
Like, battle cries.
It's cool. Just awesome to know that, this is something where, like, a lot of women can have some roles and get to be badasses and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And there are dudes who are included, but like, we get to punch them in the face and knock them out. And they're game for it. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's still all fun, and I don't feel like we're like taking anything away from anybody,
Nah, just adding to it.
A lot to it, which is cool. Very cool.
A lot of flavor.
Marinate in there with some spices and
some spices, or in my case, some ice.